From small beginnings, great things can grow. This is the story of Mississippi agriculture, the farmers who drive it, and the organization that advocates for them. It was President Theodore Roosevelt who said, "Our civilization rests at the bottom on the wholesomeness, the attractiveness, and the completeness, as well as the prosperity of life in the country." In 1910, the term Farm Bureau was established with a singular focus: to promote farm businesses. In 1919, 12 states met in Ithaca, New York, to form a national federation of state farm bureaus, today known as the American Farm Bureau Federation. Only 1 year later, agricultural industry leaders began organizing county farm bureaus in Mississippi. Lafayette County Farm Bureau was chartered on December 31, 1920, becoming the first official county farm bureau in the state. And in 1922, County Farm Bureau representatives incorporated the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation to promote Mississippi crops. We quickly got to work, expanding its educational, social, and member service activities throughout the 1930s. In 1946, we supported the Hill-Burton Hospital Act, which provided construction grants and loans to build and maintain healthcare facilities in rural communities. In addition, this was the year we assisted in organizing affiliate insurance companies. On August 27, 1956, Warren County Farm Bureau completed its charter, becoming the final county to gain Farm Bureau representation. In July of 1965, we developed a tire and battery program and various other member savings programs. Community service paid off as we grew closer to our neighbors and became known as a problem solver for agriculture. Then, on May 2, 1974, we recorded our 100,000th member family, an incredible milestone that showed just how vital our organization had become. By 1985, we represented more than 150,000 member families. This growth came with increasing political advocacy on behalf of Farm Bureau families. 1993 saw a record number of supported legislation passed, including the Mississippi Boll Weevil Management Act, which established the boll weevil eradication program. Then, on August 29 of 2005, tragedy struck. Hurricane Katrina hit the Mississippi Gulf Coast, causing estimated losses exceeding $1.57 billion for the Mississippi agriculture industry. Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation was instrumental in recovery efforts, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars to assist producer members impacted. Then, 2011 saw another milestone. Initiative 31 passed during the November general election, making Mississippi the 44th state to restrict the use of eminent domain for private development. We led the 2-year initiative and referendum campaign that resulted in the eminent domain issue being put on the ballot. Those victories were just the beginning. In 2017, we supported legislation that placed a cap on agricultural use value, preventing property taxes on agricultural land from spiking more than 4% a year. In 2018, we supported the Right to Farm Bill, which prohibited local governments from restricting agricultural operations, traditional farm practices, or forestry activity on agricultural or unzoned land. And in 2019, we supported the Landowner Protection Act, which increased Mississippians' private property rights and legislation that gave electric cooperatives the ability to provide rural broadband service. With these past wins, it's easy to see why we formed a federal political action committee, known as the Furthering Agriculture for Rural Mississippians Fund, or Farm Fund, in 2020. 2020 was a standout year for the entire world, as COVID-19 ran rampant across the globe. We led multiple efforts to support the agriculture industry during the pandemic, like publishing the COVID-19 federal and state resources document for Mississippi farmers and ranchers, and creating the hashtag media campaigns, Critical and Essential, and Still Farming. Additionally, we led the development and implementation of the Federal Consolidated Appropriations Act, which allocated $1 billion to contract livestock producers and poultry growers who suffered financial losses during the pandemic. In 2022, we supported legislation upholding Initiative 31, making sure the eminent domain constitutional amendment was codified into general law. It's been 100 years since those representatives gathered to incorporate a statewide organization, instilling faith, family, and Farm Bureau. Since then, we have served as the voice of agriculture. As long as Mississippi farmers are providing food, fiber, and shelter, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation will be here, supporting them.